Play City family, what is up? It is Bobby on a beautiful Chicago day in a beautiful garage here at Whole Foods, actually. I'm about to go into the grocery store for another mini haul with summer recipe. I really enjoy doing these. And you don't have to go to a Whole Foods. You can get these items I'm going to shop for at any grocery store. It's just very easy for me to actually do it here at Whole Foods. We're going to go up there. We're going to shop for ingredients to make the ultimate summer quick and easy dinner recipe of spice-crusted grilled shrimp with a blistered corn salad with lots of herbs and a little bit of sausage. It's going to be great. Before we do, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share. All those things are really grand, but to make sure you don't miss out on all the content going live every single week, enable the bell icon right below the video. That way you get a push notification and you don't miss out. Okay, grocery store awaits. Let's mask up, go in there, and do our thing. All right, let's start the video with the hero of the recipe, the shrimp. Here's the deal. I always recommend getting wild-caught shrimp, and score one for the Bobby, because right now, wild-caught Mexican blue shrimp are on sale. Why is this important? Because the farming practices of shrimp are not the best. So you might see a lot of Southeast Asian shrimp, like from Vietnam. There's some back there from Thailand. They just don't have the best reputation for being good farm-raised shrimp. There are some good quality farm-raised salmon in the world, but really not shrimp. So I would always go wild-caught. I love this sale right here. And we live in America. There's some really good access to wild-caught shrimp from the Gulf of Mexico, from Florida. And if you can't find the shrimp in the fishmonger area here, I'll show you over in the freezer area. All grocery stores have it. But just keep in mind, just because it's here, it doesn't mean it's fresh. It's always going to be previously frozen, because you can't find fresh fish or fresh shrimp at the grocery store. It's always going to be frozen, but it's thawed out, so it's more convenient. We need some corn for the blistered corn salad, and believe it or not, I'm actually going to get frozen corn over the fresh corn in the produce section. And if you watched the video the other week, I told you exactly why. The one thing I want you to know is that most all corn from the grocery store is GMO corn. You have to wait for the organic corn season, which isn't really till like July, August, or if you go to local farmers markets, they might have non-GMO organic corn grown locally. And local really is important, because the second you pick corn, the sugar in there turns to starch and starts becoming less sweet. So because of the fact that that's not non-GMO in the produce section, I'm going to come here and scoop organic yellow sweet corn. It's really nice to have this because it's picked at peak harvest and frozen immediately. So it's very sweet and not starchy. And at $1.99, that's a great deal. It's already cut off the cob for me. And I'm going to blister it, or basically fire roast it. The fire roasted one is $3.99. I'm getting this for $1.99. Once I put that in a hot pan with some ghee and then put the other vegetables in there, this is going to be fantastic. So wait till midsummer, and if you can find organic or non-GMO corn then, or the farmer's market, scoop that. Until then, go for the frozen organic. It's such a great thing to have in your freezer. Corona has literally ravaged one of my favorite sections of the grocery store, the bulk section here. Luckily at Whole Foods, they do still have a bunch of legumes and stuff in the top shelf. But what I'm talking about for this video is the spices. I need some spices to crust my shrimp. They used to have amazing organic bulk spices and organic teas here too, but they took it away because of Corona, which means I have to go to the spice aisle. It's more expensive, and there is a downside to that. So let's go over there and I'll tell you why it's not ideal, but how to navigate it. So my main beef with the prepackaged spices is the price. You look at smoked paprika, it literally is about 3 to 4 times the price of the bulk section spices. But what are you gonna do? You have to get it when you're here because you can't get the bulk section. If you have a spice shop in your city, go there. In Chicago, we have the Coffee and Tea Exchange on the north side of Chicago. You can get it by the ounce, and it's so much cheaper. Some things it's nice to get organic, like this is smoked paprika. It comes from red peppers. Red peppers are in the Dirty Dozen. This is not organic, but still it's okay. Freshness is most important. You don't necessarily know how long this has been sitting in the jar, or any of these for that fact. I also need turmeric here, which is pretty expensive too. But I know for a fact in the bulk section and at spice shops, they go through it very quickly, so it's cheaper and it could be fresher. The longer spices sit, the more the flavor goes downhill. After 6 months, ground spices really start to tail off. So freshness is very important, and price is important too. Unfortunately, right now, we have to overpay. We're in a very bearish market for spices. I need some kind of salty beef or pork, like a chorizo or andouille, to render its fat and then cook the corn in that fat and get that sweet, salty, fatty flavor profile going. Now, they do have this down here, this chorizo sausage and andouille sausage, but it's very hard to find sausages at the store that don't have either added sugar or aren't factory farmed or GMO. So even though this andouille or chorizo sausage here doesn't have any sugar, and the andouille here doesn't have any sugar either, it's GMO pigs. What does that mean? Most likely factory farmed pigs that only eat GMO grain. And if you buy something like sweet Italian sausage, which will work really good with my recipe too, and once again, it's GMO pork. And if you go to the butcher counter over there, they're not going to have any non-GMO organic pork. So I know in my freezer I have that organic sausage from Costco. It's that smoked kielbasa beef sausage. They also have the Titan sausages too. I'm going to use that. Just keep in mind, anytime you buy these kind of products, you really want to get organic or non-GMO, or just get those beef sausages at Costco. Those are great, and I think it's going to pair really nice with my corn salad. I'm going to toss some spinach or some kale in my blistered corn salad, and I want you to keep a couple things in mind. Spinach and kale are two of the most dirty of the dirty dozen produce in the planet, and actually, organic baby spinach is one of my favorite things to get. And to be honest, a lot of people think Whole Foods is expensive. If you know how to shop it, a pound of baby spinach here is $4.99. That price is second best only to Costco. And I love this. It's a huge clamshell right here. But I think actually I want to get kale. Let me meander over to the kale section here, because even though kale seems like it's a simple kind of vegetable, there's a few things I want you to know about it. All right, so here we go. This is my preferred kale right here. It's called lacinato kale. But it's confusing because it's not just called lacinato kale, it's called Tuscan kale, dinosaur kale, and black kale. Once again, it has to be organic because kale is filthy dirty and sprayed with up to 23 chemicals and pesticides. You don't want conventional. But you don't want green curly kale either, because green curly kale, I see this in a lot of restaurants and salad mixes. It's so rubbery and unpleasant to eat, whereas the lacinato kale is very, very tender and pleasant to eat. They also have the red kale here, but you don't want that either. It's just as rubbery as the green kale. So whether you call it black, dinosaur, Tuscan, or lacinato, get this kale. The funny thing is, ever since Amazon bought Whole Foods, that price has gone from $2.99 now down to $1.79. I think you guys told me Sprouts Farmers Market in California might be a little cheaper, but I'm going to grab one of these and put it in my blistered corn salad. And I need to get tomatoes too. Let me show you these tomatoes that are dynamite here. Oh man, just my luck. Of course, they're sold out. Right here is what's called Mighty Vine tomatoes. It's an Illinois company. They might have them across the Midwest, but they're grown hydroponically indoors, and they're year-round, consistently sweet and delicious. Tomatoes usually are on the dirty dozen. I think because those are grown indoor, they don't spray them so much. So if I have to go to another tomato here, and I have to choose between something like this and something like this, I'll get the organic ones, because like I said, they're pretty dirty on the dirty dozen. So I'll scoop this. $3.99 is a bit pricey. Actually, you know what? $3.49 versus $3.99 for the organic. This is a no-brainer in my opinion. Okay, grocery shopping is done. Art's waiting for us back at the kitchen. Let's head back there and make an epic, tasty summer recipe. All right, family, Art and I are back in the kitchen. I got everything I needed from the grocery store to make the spice-crusted grilled shrimp with a blistered corn salad, mint, herbs, sausage, and tomatoes. It's gonna be the epitome of healthy summer eating. Here's the start right here. I got 1 pound of beautiful wild-caught shrimp. I'll add just under a half a teaspoon of ground turmeric and just under a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, my favorite one. And a little drizzle of avocado oil. This is kind of my go-to spice rub when I'm feeling lazy. Smoky paprika and earthy peppery turmeric, lovely. But hold off on the salt until right before it goes in the grill, because I don't want the salt to pull out any moisture. Let me wash up. I've got my cast iron pan preheating back here for the blistered corn salad. Before the corn goes in, I'm gonna get the sausage out. Check this out. This is from Costco. And either their beef sausage from this company or the Teitan are fantastic. The only downside to this is if you're halal or kosher, this is a pork casing. The Teitan is made with a beef casing. Either way, it's very hard to see grass-fed beef sausages. So just cut it into chunks. Add a shtickle of avocado oil and the sausage. I just want to render out the fat and make it nice and crispy before I put the frozen organic corn in. Every time I use this sausage from Costco, it reminds me of the SNL skit from back in the day of Chris Farley when he's like, Doc says I got a Polish sausage lodged right here in my heart. So rip Chris Farley, we miss you. That'll do its thing. We'll check back in a few minutes. All right, sausage is nice and crusty. I want to get it out, but leave that yummy rendered beef fat in the pan. Then add the corn and turn the heat just above medium. I'm going to hold off on salting the corn until it gets nice color because just like the shrimp, I don't want to pull out any moisture. This caramelized beef sausage smells good, and it brings back a memory actually. Back in the day, my parents would take me to Bob Evans restaurant, and I had this sausage on the weekends. It wasn't as high quality as that, but it kind of brings back that memory. Once the corn gets nice and blistered, we'll add some vegetation. Let's go to knife school here. Fingers perched on top. Cut planks across of the red onion. This way your fingers are out of the way. Try to go as tight together as possible. Then do the claw. And we go, that was a really bad claw noise, wasn't it? As many sticks as possible here. This way you can't really cut your finger because it's not in the way. Then one more claw on top here. And that way everything comes out in a nice fine dice. And then just run your knife through one more time. The corn has some really nice color after about 7 minutes. Let's add the chopped red onion, a good pinch of unrefined salt, and a few cracks of pepper. Turn the heat down to medium and give it a good stir. Now let's add 3 cloves of garlic that I finely minced. Now let's get some kale in the pan. If you haven't seen my new favorite hack, just use something that has a loop, like these pair of tongs, and it rips the leaf off of the stem. So great. It's one of my favorite new hacks, and it's because a fan told me about it, and I love it. And just give the kale a rough chop. Add the chopped kale to the pan. We're so darn lucky to have this wild mint just grow out here. Talked about it before, but it's so plentiful, it's free, and the wild mint just tastes so much better and just smells so much better than any of those clamshells you can buy at the store. So I'll grab some of this, and then I don't think the neighbor's gonna mind, right, Christine, if I grab some of your, here's that purple basil. Now, when you're growing basil at home, when the flowers start to bud on top like this, you actually want to nip them off and throw them away because it'll impede the growth of the leaves that we eat. So I'll prune, and I'll take a couple. All right, this looks great as is. I mean, check it out. You can stop here if you want, but I kind of never know when to stop. So I'm gonna take some quartered cherry tomatoes and just let the residual heat soften them up. I'll take a good squeeze of lime juice for some acid. Throw a chop on that mint and basil, very roughly. And then to get kind of like a elote thing going, I want to take some Parmesan cheese. That mixed with the lime juice is going to be absolutely lovely. Tell me when, Art. Tell me when, Art.
I haven't said anything. If you insist.
And there we go. Thank you. One last mix up. Ooh, you smell that, Art? That could be the official side dish of the summer. Okay, let's fire up the grill, throw some salt on the shrimp, and finish this dish. Oh my God, that's good.
Side dish of summer.
That was a good one, Art.
Bobby wasn't kidding. That's good.
Hold on, Art, I totally forgot. We can make it better.
How?
Let me show you.
How is that possible?
I forgot the sausage. Oh my gosh. How dare I not throw my grass-fed sausage in there? Now it's done. Just to make the shrimp a little more manageable on the grill, I'm gonna skewer them so I can flip them in one move. Now let's carefully just spray some avo oil on the grates. And then also spray some on the shrimp so they don't stick. I put a good amount of salt on there. The lone soldier here. So think to yourself the last time you had an overcooked shrimp versus an undercooked shrimp. It's usually overcooked. That's because the shrimp have virtually no fat. So what I like to do is actually just cook them for a few minutes aside, but take them off the heat about 30 seconds before they're actually done, and the carryover heat will finish cooking them, and they're always juicy as can be. All right, let's flip these shrimp. And just one more little spray of avocado oil. All right, shrimp look perfect. Let's get them off the grill before they overcook. Gorgeous. Let's grab a big scoop of that blistered corn salad. And put those shrimp right on top. Little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And some more herbage. And there it is, y'all. Spice grilled shrimp with a blistered corn, sausage, and herb salad. All right, first things first, that crusty shrimp has my name on it. Just the salt and the spices, and the fact that it's juicy as can be, is everything you want. Chase it with a bite of that sausage-laced corn salad. Wow. That's why I leave the tails on. You can pinch the meat directly in your mouth. Classy move. Art, get in here.
I think an even classier move is to pinch the shrimp while you're preparing the shrimp so that the person eating it doesn't have to do any work.
Touche, Art.
Yeah, that's a little rude on my part. Go in for the shrimp. I'll follow Bobby's lead on this. Ooh. I was not expecting that crust. That was nice and crunchy. Good.
That was almost like a commercial for like Grey Poupon or something. Ooh.
Pardon me, do you have any grilled shrimp? This is summer right here. Right there.
Well said, Art.
It's good.
Thank you.
Where did that come from? Wait, why did you start singing that?
I couldn't tell you.
Dude, I'm pissed now.
Yeah. This is what we do, by the way, all day long. Random stuff gets in our head. We've been singing, wanna Fanta, don't you wanna Fanta? So good. And we can't even figure out why. That's the sad part. All right, family, the recipe is down below in the description box. This is the kind of food you want to eat in the summer. Fresh, scratch made with best-in-class ingredients. Let me know if you want to see more of these haul and recipes because I'm loving every minute of it because it combines my two favorite passions, shopping and cooking. Like, subscribe, share. The only way this channel keeps growing, the only way we keep helping people take control of their health and knowing what they put in their body is by you spreading the love with your friends and family. 2 more videos are going below me right now. But my man Art and I will see you soon. Until then, we say into like we always do. Hashtag keep on cooking, mad love, and peace. Dessi, lunch is served. She's gonna like this one.